And radio check, radio check. Come in, come in. Okay. So what I wish I had in LMU is the ability to quickly do some practice. But you don't really have like a time trial, easy setup mode. It's kind of a little bit tricky. I've got a couple of these saved. That was the race. I don't really need that one because I did it, so we can clear that one out. But I am keen to try the different hypercars and try and get an idea. I would like some sort of tutorial mode in this, because yeah, I don't really know the ins and outs of everything, and this is very much a game, a sim for the very well initiated in WEC, I think. So yeah, there's that factor. I'm trying to think where I would like to test the cars out. I mean, obviously I know Spa very well. I really need the practice at Le Mans, but I'm not that good at the Le Mans track. So yeah, I definitely need the practice. Just a reminder, you get Portimao, Monza, Bahrain, 4 different. I recently did the outer circuit. Paddock circuit is pretty cool as well, a little bit shorter. And of course the enduro is really long. The default is the WEC and F1. Le Mans, Spa, Fuji, and I want to say you get Sebring. I think you do get Sebring for free in the base package. I also need to practice Sebring. Don't know very well, but I think given the fact that I need the practice at Le Mans, it's a slightly longer track. I'm going to run that today. And I just want to have a look at the different hypercars in action. The Van Wall, I think, is pretty cool. And all of these, I think, are available in the game for free from the 2023 season. And then I think for the 25, you're looking at extra money for it. Glickenhaus, pretty cool. And of course, the Ferrari, the yellow one is available from I want to say 25, but I haven't tried the Caddy yet. Nice, thanks, Lucky Bro. That's cool. I'm going to choose the Caddy and run that. And I'm just going to try and do a little bit of practice. What is that, 20 minutes? Just to get to grips with the different cars and run it that way. And for now, I'm just going to stick with hypercars, which is only 15 in the 2023 season. So I'll add a few in that. What I have found in Le Mans is that the difficulty is insane. I don't know if I can just check what difficulty level I've got this on, because I was advised to knock that down for the AI. I did drive the Mercedes on Fuji. Yes, did you tune into that one? I appreciate it if you did. I just did a practice session for that one. But I mean, yeah, I don't know if you're talking about whether you saw me driving that a few days ago, or whether there's like a special event that I took part in. I have not taken part in any online events. I am way away from that just yet. So I'm taking it easy. But I was driving a Mercedes GT3 at Fuji the other day. So we'll just do a quick run of practice and get to grips with the car. I think I've got all the keys bound up properly as I would need, because we've got deployment and everything, haven't we? I'm very new, but yeah, this is my third startup of the sim. Yeah, it took me a little while to get everything set up and running as I like. Cheers. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, I'm giving it the best I can. I want to try it for a broadcast. Do you know, I did for Race Spot, I did the very first LMU broadcast for Motorsport UK and for Race Spot. I was on it was the 300k of Spa we did, and I was on the commentary team for that. And back then, the game had just been released, I want to say. Maybe it hadn't quite been released, and it looked great, and it looked like it was fairly straightforward to broadcast on. So I do want to test it out for broadcasting, but before I have to go back to normal life and work and all of the bad stuff, I'm going to give driving these things a little the best go I can. So I've got no. I need to select. I think I've got a problem there with the settings. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, please. Feel free. I can hear you, by the way, as I play. So if you're willing to uh, coach me around and correct what I'm doing wrong, help me out with what I've got. Why is my controller not even set? Why does it do this all the time? I know there's a force feedback issue, right? But where's my even RS50 detected? Sweet. Okay. So let's. It doesn't even want to detect it right now. Let me just check. I've definitely got this on the right RS50. Yeah, because it's detected it, so that's fine. Primary controls. How annoying. Don't you love PC gaming sometimes? I must say though, I did have problems earlier on. Yes, I am enjoying the RS50. It's a brand new purchase for me, a Black Friday purchase. What I don't understand is why all the defaults have gone. Wheel is clearly on. Maybe I need my G-Hub on. Let me turn on G-Hub and see if that helps. Sometimes it does. Go back to gameplay while that loads up. Something just connected. No, it's telling me to connect my Logitech gear. So give me a second. Thanks for your patience. It's really frustrating. Because you've got to climb in and out of the rig every time as well. That's everything's just out of reach, which is annoying. The way I've got everything set up. But as people not new to the channel will know, there we go. Things are back. I've got some steering. Great. Okay. Yeah, I have to have at the moment my setup is that I've got my work desk with my main monitor. My rig slides into my work desk, and I have to make do with that setup. So it's kind of very compromised at the moment. I love this electric start. It's not great that my flagman waves me out of the waves me out of the pit box when there are cars coming. I really would love to just have this set up nicely. The steering's very light right now. No force feedback. Yeah, no force feedback. Okay, one more try. I know that this is a known issue. I had read about the force feedback thing. So hopefully we'll get some life back in this. I also know it's incredibly strong. No, I've just got my haptics working, but no force feedback again. And the grip offline. That's the other thing that always hits me with LMU, is there's just no controlling the car off the track. Constant zero force effect. I don't know why I need all this. My hope is that just turning it on and off again is enough. What did I do for strength? Let's just check. 5 Newton meters at the moment. No, I've still got absolutely no life in the old dog. I can drive, but I'm not. There we go. Come on, force feedback. Can we just play? That's fine. Okay, force feedback. Invert. Off. Yeah, crew chief would be cool. I am thinking about it. Definitely. Thanks, Lucky Bro. Yeah. Oh, Alt Tab is a fix for force feedback, really? See, I know what's going on when the wheel is all over the shop. Just sitting in the so Alt Tab. Okay. Let's do that. Does that let me? I appreciate you sticking around. Got no sound for the electric engine. Start. Yeah, but what's going on with the old with the force feedback? As I normally, my wheel is out of control, even in the pits. So we'll go, which is why I've got it turned low, because it's very, very violent. And what's happening there? Let's have a go. Yeah. So I've got the haptics turning and making. Oh, I think I've got something. Yes, we're back. We're in action. Awesome. It's really interesting, the cold tire effect as well. Probably the hardest tire warm up I've experienced in any sim. Worse than iRacing, like harder than iRacing. I don't know if that's. I shouldn't say worse, but a stronger deal. So I don't know if these have got like a push to pass ERS, but I know they've got recovery modes that I don't necessarily understand. Virtual energy. Just going to ride the brake a little bit, generate a little bit of heat. Now we're talking. I'm getting a bit of bite. Fuel ratio. Traction control is quite high for me. A little bit loose there, that's okay. Brake bias. Nice dash display there, that's pretty cool. Field of view probably needs some adjustment for me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm pressing a button for sort of electrical deployment or it's auto. I'm assuming it's auto because I think it was done on for the BOP, right? test my boost button. I don't think that's doing anything. Something about energy, bottom right as well. I mean, brake migration, that kind of thing, that's going to be beyond me for now. Good job I was pointing in that direction. In this car I would turn off the virtual mirror because the car mirror is pretty good. It's nice and smooth. Probably need to adjust the haptics a little bit. They're set up for GT7, so might need to do a whole video on setting up Sensit haptics MTC-P Extreme. But it's working well at the moment anyway. It's actually quite quiet in the wheel. But I found that in the LMP as well. The GT3 was a much beefier, heavier car naturally to drive, but I'm wondering how these cars are going to differ. There's a big tyre rumble going on in the seat. Learning curve is ferocious. LMU, I think. Motor map, wow. I'm assuming you turn that up for quali. So maybe try that on Mistral. Oh, immediately, yeah, you can feel that. It'll change from 30 up to 50. But that's going to use more energy, I guess. Let's keep it planted and see. 3, 2. On those, you've got the energy store on other drivers' names there, have you? 88, 19, 25. Assume so. Early on the brakes, but just getting familiar with the car. So they're quite loose. I did find the LMP the easiest to drive overall, which figures, you know, lightest, lowest power, highest downforce, very planted cars, the LMPs. And we're getting into night conditions already. I've got the 50 kilowatt setting, but my energy's not going down particularly. Why is that? There isn't a boost button or anything. Not that I've keyed up anyway. Give me a quick quick idea of what the electrical deployment systems are. My assumption is that motor map 50 kilowatts means that I'm deploying more electrical energy, but I know it's not like F1. Oh, that's absolutely glorious, the way they've just gone to night conditions. Very cool. So much information on the screen as well. Okay, so impression at the moment in these first. Okay, so I would say that yes, I've got the AI too low. That was me just cruising around, and I've set the fastest practice time immediately. It's a hell of a track, it really is. And you get a better sensation of the gradient and camber change in this than in GT7. Is that going to disqualify the lap? So I'm 50 kilowatts. I had a huge problem with brake bias as well, but thankfully the Discord community helped me out. It's like a button brake biases axis or something like that I hadn't unchecked. But we got that sorted, which is great. I'm also still really getting used to my load cell pedals, but I am now consistently hitting max brakes, so I can probably start turning it up a little bit. I'm getting used to that. I just ran GT7 this morning earlier on, so I'm a little bit. So this Caddy feels quite light and loose on the track. I'm not getting a lot of suspension dive under braking or pitch shift under acceleration like I do in other sims. Maybe that's actually turned the engine down. I seem to be losing time right now. But yeah, some sort of tutorial about the hypercars would be very useful. I know I've favorited a couple of videos to go study about this, but I wanted to just throw the cars around a little bit and see how I can adjust and how they compare. .50 board is hard to see, and there isn't really a isn't really a 100-meter board there either. Gained a bit of time there in at the very end. The lap. Yeah, the other thing is I don't have any rev lights on my wheel in LMU. Oh, we messed up. Come on. car feels a little bit on the dead side here. But yeah, if you're watching live, let me know what the best second car is to try. Maybe the one that's most different from the 23 Cadillac in the hypercar categories. From the base content as well, I need to say. I just went for the base game because we're stretching the limits now. Because I didn't know if it would run on my PC, and I've had to drop the settings a little bit because obviously it's important to me as a commentator, broadcaster, that the game will run and stream at the same time. So I do have to have a compromised setup sometimes. There you go, back end got away a little bit. So make any suggestions you like. I'll do my best to give it a go. We're into daybreak already. It's so cool having the time multiplier as high as I've got it. I wonder if there's anything about turning the motor map down. Yeah, that's definitely slower. Okay. So the higher kilowatt, the higher, and I am using my energy, so that's good. Okay. Yeah, happy to go with chat suggestions for the next car after this session. I believe that brake migration has more of an effect than brake bias in these hypers. That's what I'd heard anyway. Well, this lap has obviously turned out very badly. Yeah, there seems to be like quite a little bit of guesswork in the steering. Maybe it's set up or something, but I don't feel completely connected to the Caddy. Where's the pit lane entry? I've lost it. So right over there, okay. Is there a Peugeot? I think there is a Peugeot for sure. We'll go and have a look. Whether I have it in the base game is another question. Oh, you want to see a rig update? Yeah, I do need to do like a video for sure. So what we could do is we could stick within 2023, or we could. Now my feeling is there's the only one in the 25 is the Ferrari for free. Is that right? Oh no, there's several. So there's a locked Peugeot, and then you've got the Aston, which I would imagine is going to feel night and day different to the Caddy. And a Peugeot, just can't get on board with being a fan of Peugeot. I have driven the Valkyrie in hypercar spec in GT7. I think I might have even had a little go on it on my first try here. And there's the Porsche as well. And there's also the absolutely stunning BMW, which I really do rather like. But I think I do want to listen to the... and then on the base, 2023, we've got I want to say car. We do have this Peugeot and those two colour schemes. I mean, very nice headlights, but that's about all I can say about Peugeot. But given that you've asked, we'll go for Peugeot and see what that's like. And that's WEC 1, WEC 2 or Le Mans setting. So Le Mans had this bright colour thing. Same with WEC 2. And then very grey. Okay. Go again. Right. Governs all energy output. This is different to fuel as it incorporates use of hybrid for cars that use it and standardizes pit stop time. Okay. Yeah. So those percentages on the left of the dial, I think that's just been ported across from the tower. I don't think you have all those different ones for different for one driver. Just check my messages. I'll do the prize draw in a bit, hopefully a little bit later. Nice. Okay. Let's get into it. So this one has an ICE in the pits, whereas the traction control, let's turn that to 5 as a direct comparison. Yeah, this has a an engine sound in the pits, whereas the Caddy is very quiet. There's no great kind of noise that you hear when you see. Can we hit the cones? Track limits. Now, the Englishness in me is conditioned and very much socialised to dislike any French car, and you can blame politics, you can blame previous wars, or you can blame Top Gear. I'll probably mostly blame Top Gear for that. But I do have a very bad association with French cars. It's got an even better rear view mirror positioning. Never really understood why Sims position rear view mirrors where you wouldn't have them, where you wouldn't have put them if you were setting up the car as a driver yourself. So, like, I don't think that a centralized rear view mirror should ever not be in focus, and you have to then widen the field of view and everything. Very shaky at full speed, this one. I don't really see why you would ever have to do that, because, you know, if you're on track racing and you got in the car and the rear view mirror wasn't in your vision when your eyes are basically forward, you would adjust it and you'd ask them to move it, right? So why do you get it so that you start up a sim race in a new cockpit and your rear view mirror is like, you know, you could just see the corner of it or something? I do think it's kind of realism taken too far for me. Up next in Webbo's Bugbears. good haptics. I do like this. Like, I can feel the tyre complaint at speed. Just going to get out of the way of this guy. But they, like, you probably see one of the shorts from my first attempt, is that they absolutely ram into you as if you don't exist. Okay, I think steering is a little bit more direct in the Peugeot. We'll turn the energy up. Fuel I can change. Oh, that's tyre pressures, right? Okay, yeah. Well, that was fuel pressure. Get out of the way of the Jota Porsche as well. Do want Team AO Racing USA to enter the hypercar category just because we need a new creature. So motor map 400 watts and regen 200. 40 kilowatts, sorry. I do love it when Americans try and pronounce Peugeot, yeah, definitely. Peugot is what I hear a lot of. Like, Peugeot where? What is a Peugeot? Yes, I do love it. Yes. But GT7 have just been flooding us with French cars. That's got massive kilowatt deployment range compared to the Caddy. So what's all that about? Oh, I needed to turn the AI up, really, didn't I? Oh, why did I forget that? I had to turn them onto safe because, like, the lowest level of aggression, because they were just ramming me off the circuit. No, that's too much. So I'll change that to 60 kilowatts. I think I could only go up to 50 on the Caddy. The Peugeot feels a little bit more direct. It feels very light at top speed. Very little in the way of wheel shake, which is a good thing, but you do feel a little bit less connected to what's happening on the road surface. And then, if anything, I'd say longer braking zones. So that could be the bop in 2023. See, energy's not releasing at all there. I would say that corner entry and mid corner, the Peugeot feels corner entry, it's more predictable. Mid corner and top end feels very light and disconnected. Tried to get out of that one. And then braking zone. The braking is appalling. Really poor. So I wonder if that is down to regen. Can't. That's at max. Wow. Okay. And that is 1% forward on the regen, which is effectively additional braking. Oh, wow. Yeah, the car feels very, very light. But the braking performance is not good, which I tend to rely on cars being on the better side when it comes to braking. Probably because I'm too late with the brakes. It seems more stiffly sprung possibly as well. Which is weird. It doesn't ride the curbs quite as well. I hope this is coming through quite nicely on the stream. It certainly looks the business. Like I'm not complaining about the graphics here. This is on absolute minimum graphics as well. I'm going to switch that. Oh, you can only go up or down or disabled on the brake migration. I thought I'd be able to move that to the rear, but maybe F doesn't mean front in that context. I'm not doing very well with lap times here. Or courtesy for the AI cars either. Nice. That's a nice effect. Stay on that track. Come on. I do struggle with that corner a lot. We try adding brake migration up to 2.5%. That might improve the braking. And motor map. I'm going to up that a bit more. Oh yeah, did you hear that with the engine? That definitely helped. I'm not sure that helped the braking very much. First hint at a little bit of traction oversteer. It's weird. I'm used to seeing the wheel LED display flash up at me, and I'm not on my Logitech, so I have to sort of watch the in-game wheel or for rev counters, because they're not very loud engines. I really want it to brake more. Am I braking at 100% on the dial? Really not feeling like I'm getting enough brake performance. Oh, that's a bit better. Okay. I have no front wing, so it's probably not helping. I don't know. Oh, anti-roll bar, ARB, of course. I think I can change that on the fly, which is pretty neat. I like the head shake. The head shake's fun. I know a lot of people like to turn that off, but as a VR user generally, I really appreciate it. Felt pretty good. I feel like I'm getting the hang of it, but I wonder if I've got the force feedback turned too low now. But at medium speed, like through there, it's a lot to deal with. The force feedback, it's just, yeah, cars do feel extremely light coming into the corners. So I'm up to 100 kilowatts of deployment. See if I can actually increase that Wow, that's a lot of deployment. It goes up to 200 kilowatts. I think I'm at maximum brakes there. There we go. Got some brakes working now. Just have to be a bit earlier. Yeah, car feels a little bit neutered, a little bit dead. I was expecting to have to work a lot harder. There we go. A little bit more alive now at TC4. That's maximum brake migration there. Stayed in fourth. It could make it a little bit easier to find your way to the chicanes at the end of the lap. Oh yeah, definitely stepping out on me. It's pretty fun. So I still feel like the car's a little bit dead, to be honest. Yeah, tricky, very tricky. I wonder if we just do a big jump now up to 25, or do we stay with 23? Shout out what you want to see in terms of car. I'll stick with the same track, but not looked at the van wall either. So we could try the van wall. There's different livery options, or are they pretty much all the same? They're pretty much all the same. Okay. Yeah, okay. And then Glickenhaus. It's an interesting looking car. It looks more like an Alpine, doesn't it? Livery. But yeah, maybe we just take a jump up to 2025 for the next one. And see. I do. I was following and supporting the Ferrari 83 because it was the nearest race number to my race number 82. And they actually won it, didn't they? So that's cool. It's still got the BMW, the gorgeous BMW, and then the Aston. Should we go in our Ferrari, bright yellow Ferrari? Okay, and then I should really change the AI, otherwise I will forget about it. Okay, so where are we? That setting repeat shifts saved my bacon a couple of times. We'll put it on 85 to go up 5 points and see. Yeah, save my bacon there. And we've got GT3s in the grid. I don't think I want to. I don't want to add GT3s because I'm testing the car. So yeah, let's test this out. Just want to see what it looks like on broadcast mode. Who's going out of the pits at the moment? Riberas. A quick check. It's not too bad. I think it could be better. Definitely. Nice. A little bit of motion blur there, which is, if it's noticeable, then I think we've got a problem, right, with motion blur. So yeah, not sure. Pretty cool view, that one. Won't be able to see a lot, but it's cool. We've got a rear view. We have nice. Yeah, those are cool. I like those. Okay, let's go back to me then, wherever I am. Oh, okay, need to close the replay bar. There we go. Right, Ferrari time. That traction control is huge. I do hope the drivers were not racing with quite such a large amount of traction control. Just cold tyres again. I should probably, let's just turn TC down. I've done the brake bias. Let's turn TC down a bit, 6, and then we can actually see our motor map. That's held from before. We can see our tyre temperatures if I go onto here. That's kind of cool. Don't know if we need more traction control because there's a wider band in factory. Brakes are warming up nicely. What we're at, 72 on the tyres. I think we need to be up at 80 plus to really start pushing. Nice and responsive in comparison to the 23 cars I've just driven, the Caddy and the Peugeot. That felt like you can brake a little bit later. .72 and 74 on the rears. We need some temperature on that front right. Car suddenly goes very quiet on corner entry. It's a little bit worrying. Ride that brake a little bit more. Well, we can't get above 75 at the moment driving like this, so it does feel like it's braking a lot better than the Peugeot and the Caddy did. That front right really is struggling to stay warm. Ooh, the rear stepping out. Little slide there. Very good response at the front, actually. If anything, slightly too much. I'm going to have to change the BB, because that trail braking response is quite strong on the front. Let's just increase that 3. Come on. Oh, we had a little glitch there on the FPS. Didn't even get a question mark on the track limits there. Sorry if that was a small interruption on the stream. Don't seem to reach the point where I absolutely need 7th gear, which is a surprise. Is that so? I think the tyres are okay. I don't think they're great, but they're okay at the moment. So why am I going so slowly? Thanks, man. That's amazing info. Thanks, Pendragon. So I'm actually a little bit on the hot side for my softs, but these long straights do take care. I wonder if that is that brake migration stealing a little bit of my top speed, because I can't get into 7th gear. I do like the Ferrari. Best of the 3 so far, I like the Ferrari. But that is a 25 car versus 23 car. So maybe that's just an unfair comparison. I've got my RAM on track at the moment. So direct. In comparison, the Ferrari. Quite fun. Very responsive on the brakes. Again, I kind of expect more meat on the bones on corner entry. I kind of expect the wheel to be just to be a bit of a job to turn the wheel in on corner entry. This is why the cars are feel so light to me, I guess. I don't know if that is a legitimate observation or what, but ooh, good point. Oh, it should be 100% brake pressure. I've got my load cell is at 65%. Because I'm trying to get used to load cell. I'm pressing it fully, but that's a wheel setting preference for the time being. I will try and eke it up as my left foot starts to get used to it. Time seems roughly fair, although I don't know why. But I'll have a look for you. I'll have a check. Yeah, it feels like the car doesn't want to go into 7th, but maybe that's just a fuel-saving gear. I can override it. Again, mid-corner, just very light. Oh, that was fun. That was like a skateboard grind on the curb. Felt a complete drop in steering response because we ground out over the curve. That was beautiful, actually. I don't often feel that effect on other ones. So okay, give me a second. So within the hood, are we talking? Oh, I've just stopped concentrating now. Let's have a look. If you mean it within the hood, that's the wheels and brakes. Let's just head over to settings while you're asking the question, and I've stuffed the lap up anyway. Controls and car controls will calibrate. So that is 100, which is essentially 65 on my wheel. Never release device. Yes. Just had that. In-car setup. Okay. Understood. So I'd have to go back to return to garage for that, wouldn't I? And that will eat a load of this practice time. Let me at least continue with this lap, these next couple laps anyway, and I will check. Too early. I think that's a third entry. Third gear, first corner. Second gear, second corner. Push there. So why is my virtual energy so high? Surely that should be dropping by now. Quite happy with the brake bias there at the moment. Let's check what that is. 53.2. Okay. Yeah, quite happy with the balance there. See, I'm just not getting up to 7th to fill the revs for a 7th gear upshift. See, I'm early on the brakes because I'm used to the Renault and the Cadillac, the Peugeot and the Cadillac being too tricky on the brakes. I was late there, hit the bump, still managed to hold it, so that's It's cool. I think I can go up in force feedback a little bit for the hypers. Right, yeah. Yeah, I'm a little ways off that yet. I don't think I could do anywhere near that in GT7, let alone a hardcore sim like this. So, well, Le Mans is one of my weaker tracks. Need to stay off these curbs, really, after what happened last time. Ooh, snatched a break there. I am using some energy. I assume you'd have it at 200 kilowatts for qualifying. Yeah, I was slow out of first chicane. Good, thanks. Just my third third real startup of LMU here. Very nice sky and lighting effect. Into that daybreak situation again. Ah, right, okay. How are those temps doing, I wonder? Dropped overnight, yeah, okay. Makes sense. Really doesn't like that bump. I don't know if all the hypercars feel this light mid corner, but it took a lot getting used to. Is it going to be a 43? 43.59. It's a gain anyway. Nice. Is my engine map set to safety? Not deliberately. Not deliberately, but we can have a look. It'll take ages to reload, won't it, to get there, unfortunately. I haven't tried the 24 cars yet. Just check I'm not being messaged about things. No, I'm okay right now. Right. Yeah, let's have a quick look for you on the setup. Tell me exactly what I'm looking for, please. So, I mean, it's not that I couldn't get into 7th. It's that it just, well, you could see the situation, couldn't you? So I don't need to tell you about that. So we've got the Peugeot, sorry, the Toyota. Certainly haven't tried that yet. Let's open that out and see what the car settings are. Dum dum dum. So, Pendragon, if I turn up the kilowatts of on the HUD, that is not making the car faster. That is saving more energy, because it sounded like the engine note changed, but maybe I was just being an idiot when that was on. I wonder. Yeah, certainly that's how things sounded anyway to me. Yeah, sounded like when I turned that up a couple of notches, it seemed to get quicker. But we will see once we get in the car. Have a look. Think for broadcasting, I'm going to need to turn the graphics up a little bit and the motion blur off, because that was not nice at all. Okay. Engine map. We want powertrain. Let's have a look. So virtual energy, engine mixture. Okay, Norris. So regen level. Surely that would just be under braking, right? A motor map. I think that's what you're talking about. Engine map. Diff. Not important. So motor map off or motor map at maximum. What is the difference? What should I be feeling is the question. Soft tires, blah 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 blah. Okay, basic. Virtual energy. Onboard TC. I like it around 4 or 5, and then I usually move this back, but let's try it because I regretted that on the Ferrari. Front coast. The amount of torque that is shifted to the internal wheel. Wow. Okay, that's cool. Interesting. Okay. Preload. So this is a 4-wheel drive. This one. No tape. That's so funny. Like, why would you not have those taped up? TCR turned down, and then I've got regen and motor map. Okay. Well, nothing's on safety. Not this, is it? Interesting. Okay. So what is that about? That actually goes down. Virtual energy. When you turn it, I thought if you turn the virtual energy down, your interesting. Okay, so you can turn that down to make your stint faster. That's cool. So we've got ourselves an ICE in the pit lane. Okay, weather is clear. A little bit reluctant to drop down gears in comparison to the other cars so far. Understood. Okay, yeah. Because essentially you're not regenning any or much from the brakes because you haven't got the capacity to regenerate. I think that makes sense to me. So 70 was the better tyre for softs. No problem. So we get up to 7th easily in the Toyota. So there's a big difference there between Toyota and the Ferrari in that respect. Yeah. So that's this one. So it is draining. Save target. Wow. It's a lot to think about. A great deal to think about. It's like WEX or F1's complexity and said, hold my beer. It's really planted the Peugeot. Sorry, the Toyota. A lot of head shake though. Ooh, very, very nice. Okay. Yeah, I do like the BMW aesthetically, and this feels nice actually. This feels more connected to the road. The most connected to the road of the ones I've tried so far anyway, so that's a really good thing, and it brakes nicely. It's responsive. Just caught a tiny slide there, so yeah, I'm liking this probably the most, even though my beloved 83 I want to like most. And I was already feeling a bit overconfident there. Valkyrie does not have battery. Okay. Didn't get a lot of texture there on through the steering wheel across the yellow lines, but that's good. It's good to know because obviously I do think the Valkyrie is one of the sweetest looking machines out there. I assume it's going to be Aston Martin's turn this season in WEC to win Le Mans. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but it does kind of have the whiff of the bop not being entirely merit based. I was surprised that Ferrari got the bop, but maybe they were just being really careful with how they I should just try and plant that in fourth. Maybe Ferrari were just being really strategic with the way they managed the season and the performances, because I know a lot is based on your performance in the rest of the season as to what kind of bop adjustments you'll get for Le Mans itself. So maybe the strategy is to underplay your hand a little bit through the rest of the season if your priority is Le Mans as a win. But yeah, I was surprised to see Ferrari kind of, in inverted commas, allowed to win consecutive seasons like that. But I wonder if it will be Aston's turn next time. I don't want to take anything away from the incredible effort and skill and everything that it takes to build these cars to run for 24 hours, but I do think the governance of the sport is a little bit heavy-handed. especially when they can't talk about Bop. I don't know. From a casual observer of the seasons, it doesn't feel very much like a meritocracy. And I say that coming from F1 as a fan, so but I hope that the Bop is fairly well managed within LMU anyway. We do have problems in GT7 with Bop, and the most favoured meta car every season, which I'm so tired of talking about and seeing. Oh wow, okay. So tyre pressures, you want to say. I don't think I can... Oops, that was the wrong button. Tyre pressures. I'll have a check of that in a second. I don't want to crash. I like the Peugeot. You're absolutely right, Pendragon. It is more forgiving. But I think crucially for me, it feels like it's on the road more. It's got a little bit more weight. It's responsive. I like it. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, alright. You can rewind the live stream to when I was in the garage. It is possible, I believe. Should have been in the different gear for that. I wasn't fully focused on that lap, so try and be a bit more focused on lap time here. It's more reluctant to change down, I would say, than the others. The rev matching downshifts do need a bit more care. I was just clattering through the gear shifts in the Ferrari, particularly. Yeah. Just wanted a reasonable idea of how the cars felt in different, you know, in their default setup, I guess. But yeah, I totally agree. I do need to get into the setup and everything. But it'd be nice if they worked reasonably well in a balanced way out the box. Lost a bit of time there. It's going to hurt me all the way down. Now we're alive. Nice. Okay. Great tips. Thank you. The thing that I specifically bought my load cell pedals for was to learn to trail brake a bit better. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad, and it just causes so many problems on track. When the GT3s are better in some respects, and then just get this mismatch, because you'd rather really that the classes of vehicle were demonstrably levels better across the board, but it just makes for way more problems, I think. when they don't brake as well, and they really should brake better, I think, with the regen. Still feel like I want a bit more weight in the car. I don't want to keep banging on about it, but it still feels very light in comparison, say, to GT7's LMP hyper prototype style. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks. That's my best lap yet, anyway. So that's something to be pleased about. I wonder if I can return to garage and check the settings for you. Let's have a look, because I don't think I'm going to get better than that. 341.7. I think if I return to garage, it'll end the session. No, it won't. It magically magically goes back. Okay. So wheels and brakes we want, right, for pressures. So you were saying that you are about 100 for maximum. So those are quite low pressures, but that gives you better braking. Is that what you're saying? Brake migration and then blanking. Is it actually open for the brakes? I feel like you'd want them closed at the bottom. Max pedal force is what you're saying. The 95. So you go right. Okay, that should be 100. Sorry, I thought you meant 100 kPa. Yeah. So maybe I should try that, but that won't hold across different cars. So it's something to check on for next car try, I think. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Can you explain these two for me, and whether going up means quicker or slower or what? I'm sorry that I have so many questions. Very new for me, but you run at 100%. Yeah, okay. Very cool. Okay. So complicated. Man alive. I need to get my times really good before I can even start thinking about some of these things. Stick with this, I think, at the moment. But yeah, hopefully that actually saves, does it? Okay. Right. So if I turn that up, it comes in at the end of the torque curve. Is that right? And so if I want more response, then I want more energy deployment. I actually want that lower. Does that make sense? I think so. Anyway, I'll leave it where I had it. Got it. Okay. But this motor map, you see, why don't they say that? They've got a whole page size to actually explain what goes on with that motor map, but you've got to go and research it online or have helpful people watch your streams, because that's madness, really. Just tell me what an increased value means versus a decreased value in what you feel in the driving. The blue line in speed gauge when driving, yeah. Okay. Understood. Okay. So I'm going to put that back down to like 100, to about halfway, and see. And then regen level. I'm assuming higher means more regen. But anyway, let's have a look. Finish session is on. And there's that going to come up. No, it just goes to exit. You can't actually see the timing. If I go to live timing there. How did I get on? So, top time was a 3:38. I did a 3:40.7. So I think, given the way I was driving, room for improvement, all of that, then thanks, man. Really appreciate it. So I think that that's a reasonably good place for my AI. I'm bottom half, room for improvement, not embarrassingly slow compared to the others. So I think my AI is pretty good. I might turn it down one maybe. But yeah, that's not bad. Where are we? Just it again. Here it is. Is it? No, can't change it mid-session. That makes sense. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's fun stuff. I think I probably should have committed like entire days to LMU to get used to it and get on, but I've not been able to. So yeah, that makes sense. Thanks. So for hypers, I want to perhaps just drop into novice, but I need to go to I need to go up by like 10 points or more for the other two classes, I think. Yeah, interesting. So you've got the online, and I will try and get to the bottom of how to broadcast nicely and all the keyboard shortcuts and overlays and stuff. But no, that's really cool, really helpful. Really appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much. And yeah, I think that will be me, and I'll probably go grab some lunch. But yeah, thanks very much. Keep an eye out. I might be back on a little bit later. So it's my last my last day of freedom, where I've got time to myself to game and get on with it. But thank you. I do want to do a little bit more AC Evo, so I'll maybe do one more session of that next, and then come back to this. Yeah, appreciate it, and thanks for sticking with me and for all the help. So far, I have to say, the LMU community who have tuned into my streams have been unanimously very generous and very willing to help. And maybe that's a new sim thing. Maybe it's a top level driver type of thing, or a very difficult sim. People are more willing to show up. But I appreciate it. I really do. Thanks so much. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on another stream at some point. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Even if you haven't been chatting like Pendragon and Izzy, I will catch you again very soon. Yeah, very, very grateful. Thanks very much. See you soon.